Hello creators, it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations. I am finally back with another fun video for you guys. Today we're going to be using the Winter Woods stamp set, of course, because this stamp set is so awesome and I love it so much. There are so many great things that you can do with it, especially when you bundle it with the coordinating framelits dies. Today I am casing a project from the amazing Mary Fish from Stampin' Pretty. We are doing this beautiful card right here using some silver foil along with the beautiful birch trees. I have some vellum on here with some of our amazing linen thread and a couple of rhinestones. I'm so excited about this simple and clean but beautiful design. I can't wait to get started. Let's dive right in. So we are using the Winter Woods bundle. So we have the In the Woods framelits dies. The die that we're using from this set today is this fun little sprig right here. We're going to be cutting 3 of these out of the silver foil paper. We also get to use the Stamparatus. I am so excited about this guy. He is amazing and he's a workhorse, let me tell you. So we're going to use him to create our background. So the first thing you want to do is get your magnets out, and you want to be very careful when you're playing with your magnets. Do not let them get too close. If they do, they will snap together and they will break. Fortunately, Stampin' Up! Has put replacement magnets on the site. So if you're looking to purchase some replacements, you may do so right now. There's also some grid paper that is cut to size that will fit on the Stamparatus. So make sure that you check that out as well, so you don't have to sit there and cut apart scrap paper or your grid paper. But that is what I am still using because I have not yet put my order in for that. All right, so we're going to stamp our background, and to do that, we're using this piece of Whisper White. This measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I am going to place it somewhere in the middle of my Stamparatus. It doesn't matter where. We're just going to stick it down, and then I'm going to put my magnets on the edge, on the left edge to start. From the Winter Woods stamp set, I'm going to get out those beautiful birch trees. And I want to make sure that the thick part of the stamp is at the bottom. And if you've watched my videos before, you'll notice that this is similar to the Christmas card that we made. And I'll put a link on the screen for you if you're interested in seeing that video. So we're going to start by putting the stamp on the edge of our cardstock here and picking it up with our plate. So I want to make sure it goes all the way from the bottom to the top and it's off of the right edge. My paper ends right about here and the stamp set goes just past that. So I'm going to be inking that up in gray granite, and to ink it up so that you can see, I'm going to remove the plate completely. Open up my stamp pad. We'll ink that up, and I'm going to put it back into position and stamp down. Okay, so there's our first stamp right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick up the plate and I'm going to move it down a rung. I'm going to ink up my stamp again, and I know this part is off screen for you. I just don't have a big enough area to film the whole thing. So I ink that up and I'm going to stamp it down again. And now I have perfect placement to go all the way across. Now what's important about this is once you move this down, you want to make sure that you do not move your paper. If you move your paper, it won't line up the same. So when you are stamping, just be aware that you're moving just the plates and the magnets and your paper stays in the same position. Okay, so once you get to this point, hold your paper down, and I just slide my magnets to the other side, and I find that that works really well. Okay, so now once again, I can move my plate to the next position, ink up my stamp, and stamp it down. Now I purposefully didn't ink this all the way because what is great about the Stamparatus is if you have a spot that doesn't get completely inked, you can simply re-ink your stamp and stamp it down in the exact same position. That is one of the most amazing qualities of the Stamparatus. So we just have one more to do on the end and we'll be done. Okay, so there's our background all ready to go. I am going to trim this piece of cardstock down a little bit. I'm going to cut some off of the top and the bottom so that it doesn't show this edge. I want to get rid of that white edge at the top and the bottom. So I'm just So I've trimmed this piece down to measure 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. While I have my Stamparatus out, I'm going to get a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I've already cut out the second largest stitched shape circle from the stitched shape framelits dies. And we're going to put our magnets on the top and bottom of that. And I have the sentiment out of the Winter Wood set that says, "Thinking of you this season." I'm going to line that up right onto that circle, right in the middle. I'm going to take my other plate, pick that up, and then I'm going to ink that up with my gray granite. And we're going to give that a stamp. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so we're done with our stamping. Now we can assemble the card. So I have all the pieces here that I need to start assembling my card. We have our birch tree background that we stamped. We have our piece of vellum here that measures 2 3/4 by 4. I have a piece of smoky slate cardstock for my mat, and I'm using smoky slate because I don't have any gray granite on hand, but I think that it coordinates really well together. This piece measures 3 3/4 by 5. I have also already cut out 3 of those sprigs from the framelits out of silver foil, and I have my sentiment that we stamped. So I'm going to start by folding my Whisper White card base in half. This is a standard card base that measures 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I've scored it in the middle at 4 1/4. So we're just going to give that a crease. We're going to set that aside so we can assemble the rest of our card. I'm going to take some snail and I'm going to adhere my birch tree background to my smoky slate mat. And then I'm going to adhere my vellum on top of that. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of vellum in this corner right here. You can see that snail adhesive right there in the corner. And I'm going to adhere it down in the middle. And I'm only putting it in this corner because it will be covered up by my sentiment, which I'm going to be putting right about here. Now before I put my sentiment down, I want to put my silver sprigs down. And to do that, I want to make sure that it doesn't go off the edge of my card once it's all assembled. So I'm just going to layer this together so that I can get my placement. I want to make sure that this also doesn't go off the edge of the card because I want to be able to put this in an envelope to mail. So I'm going to glue that sprig there. We're going to glue this one over here. And I'm going to put this one going up this way. Okay, so now that I have that placement, I'm going to carefully remove this. I'm going to use my snail to tack those down in place. So now I'm going to take my linen thread, and I don't have very much of this left because it is so amazing and I love it. I use it all the time. I do have a new one, I think, somewhere, and if I don't, I'm going to order one right now because I do not want to run out of this gorgeous stuff. So I'm going to leave a tail off to the right hand side because that's where I'm going to tie a bow. I'm going to wrap it around twice, and get a nice crisscross action happening here. So now I'm going to tie it off with a bow on the side. I'm going to pop up my sentiment with some dimensionals. And then we're going to pop that up onto our card base with more dimensionals. And the finishing touch, we are going to add some pearls. Now these are the old style. The new style do not have these strips anymore, but I have oodles and oodles of these because, as you know, I like my bling, and I had a lot of these on hand, so I'm just going to use them up. So I'm going to put a large and a small grouped down here at the bottom, and then I'm going to use a medium and put that up here to the side. And there we are, creators. There is our gorgeous card inspired by Mary Fish of Stampin' Pretty. Thank you so much for the inspiration to make this beautiful card. I love this stamp set, love this bundle, and gray and silver are just in right now for me. I love that combination. It's so elegant and beautiful. Thank you guys so much for visiting me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified of new videos when they are posted. You can visit me online at melissascreations.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/MKre8tions. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest with the handle @MKre8tions. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!